Hi, and thank you for tuning into the Daily Dose for Spiritual Growth. This week, we are talking about gentleness. I have a question for you. When people look at your life, do they see God in you? Do they see God in how you talk? Do they see God in how you act? Do they see God in what your priorities are, how you spend your time, how you spend your resources? Do they see God in what your interests rely around? Do they see God in how you treat others? That's called evidence. Evidence of your relationship with God should be evident to those around you. Now, I'm a person who loves a good courtroom drama. I love the judicial system. I love watching court cases. I'm very interested in that kind of thing. And I know not everyone is, but I am. And most of us in today's culture probably understand what evidence is used for in a trial, right? So you have one person accusing another person of something, and they, both sides, right, the prosecution and the defense, usually bring evidence to prove their point, right? Evidence that the crime occurred or evidence that their person is not guilty, right? And that evidence is really crucial for the jury or the judge in deciding the case. A lot of times when they go to deliberate after the evidence has all been presented, they'll ask to have evidence re-shown to them, to reread through something or look at a document or watch a video or whatnot. And more times than not, that evidence is crucial in helping them make the decision about who's guilty and who's innocent. Think about our lives as Christians. Our life is evidence of who God is. Our life is evidence of the power of God and how it changes people, right? God doesn't show up in human form other than Jesus many years ago and say, I am he, watch me. He did that once. But when Jesus left this earth, he left his power in us and said, now you are the evidence. You're my ambassadors as believers. You go out and show the world who I am. What an honor. But with that, it's hard for us to produce evidence. It's not my job to produce it in my life. It's not my job to make up evidence no, God already did that. But the cool thing is as we read in Galatians chapter 5, the fruit of the Spirit, that when we spend time with God, when we desire the things of God, he produces his fruit in us. He produces the evidence of who he is in our lives. I want to read a verse to you today, and it's found in the book of Philippians. It says in Philippians chapter 4, verse 5, let your gentleness be evident to all. Is gentleness, this attribute of who God is gentleness evident in your life? When people think of you and they see how you interact, how you treat others, how you talk to people, sure, people that you like and enjoy and love, but also how you talk and treat people that you disagree with, that you're in conflict with, that you don't even like. Is gentleness evident in your tone, in your actions, in your words? Now, I'm not just talking about behavior modification, and don't go home and go, oh gosh, I got to really watch. No, remember, we don't produce that in us. God produces that in us. You know, I use the fruit of the Spirit as indicators of how close I am to God. I notice that when I am not spending time with God on a regular basis, the fruit of the Spirit start to disappear in my life. My patience goes out the window. My gentleness is gone. And so those are indicators to me, Sarah, you better get in that Bible. You better spend time praying to me face to face, because your human nature is coming on back. Spend time with me, soak me up, and the fruit of my Spirit will become evident in your life. If you struggle with gentleness, if you're saying, you know what, Pastor Sarah, gentleness is not evident in my life, then spend time with God today. Talk to God about that. Ask God for him to impart his gentleness in you, that your answers would be gentle, your words would be gentle, your demeanor would be gentle with others, exhibiting as evidence the gentleness and goodness of God. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in today, and I hope you tune in again tomorrow for another daily dose for spiritual growth.